Never trust big hyped events or any hype things. This is a lesson for myself, and I think a lesson for all of us to learn all the time. Irrespective of the fact that I was aware of this, I knew it. I mentioned it even on the video, I think 2 days ago. But despite this, I still went against my principles and what I knew, and I traded the market based on that. And of course, we were liquidated. In this video, I'll be showing you how I got liquidated, how it's not doing well, just like the market, everything is red, and how we're going to make it up better. We have been able to maintain capital preservation, like I always mentioned, and we live to fight another day, and we just go back to the drawing board, looking at our levels and looking at positions. And over this weekend, that's what I'll be doing, taking note of positions, trying to go back to the drawing board to make sure I take advantage of the next opportunity that jumps at me, and I don't trade emotionally. My name is OP. I'm a prop trader from HashEdge, and I'm here every day showing up. There will be red days, there will be green days. The red days are days like this, where we still stand tall and we are still convicted, we still have conviction on our thesis, and we remain steadfast. Persistence is key, and just pulling through is key, and believing in oneself is also key in this market. Let's just jump right into the content I have for you today. And you can see in the whole crypto space, literally the whole space, everything is red, sea of red, bloody markets right now. So we expect this to continue over the weekend, to see more downward movement. So we should be expecting this across the board. And looking at the fear and greed index, of course, what do you expect? We are beginning to go in fear territory, and we have been reducing our greed. Unlike last week, which we saw a peak of 78 points, but now we're at 60. So we see a lot of people are capitulating slowly and surely. Of course, when they see the prices on their accounts and the money doesn't look as buoyant as it was last week. Then just jumping into my trade and looking at what happened, and you can see right here, and you can see the result is showing here failed, and that was a fail. And you can see the result here failed, and that is showing I failed the challenge, the $5,000 challenge, and I live to fight another day. I still have another challenge here, which is still open, and I am still yet to trigger that, because I have to look into the charts. Of course, I missed the BTC short and all other coins that are moving downwards, like Solana and all of them. They are moving. Even although Ethereum looks stronger than Bitcoin relative to Bitcoin right now, but we just watch and we try to observe and monitor the trends and what is going on in the charts before we take an emotional decision, an emotional position based on that. So we have to remain stoic, and this is a lesson more so for myself than for anyone, to learn from this and move on. That's the whole point, and that's what being a trader is all about. And we move on to what Kurush is saying on Bitcoin, that the initial bounce has failed to create a new high so far. So this shows bulls might be weakening here, which we have seen and we have said time and time again. He is expecting a deeper pullback if the price makes a bouncy ball type pattern here. So we can see the longs above 111,600 thereabout, and you can see we have a structure around the 107 thereabout, and that's the higher low. So if we don't see any bounce here, we should be expecting further pullback up until the $100,000 levels, which I had already indicated in the charts all week. So we can see that is just what it's saying. Just this is a bouncy ball price action showing the level breakdown. So if we see a breakdown of the 105, $106,000 levels, we expect a further pullback to $100,000 level thereabouts. So you can see not only me got liquidated, there's this whale and this guy that has been trading publicly on HyperLiquid, and he got liquidated for $100 million. And everybody has been following his story. His story is one that is very interesting. He grew up in the UK, I believe. I watched his interview. He grew up in the UK, and he traded all his way, and now this guy is trading $100 million positions. Like, what a legend! But he got liquidated. He has been trading emotionally also. So, well, now looking for other people that are being liquidated right now, and you can see this guy started with a $100 million position, and right now he's at $25,000. What a legend! What but we continue to watch, and we continue to see what is playing out. And just to look at the overall market, $345 million has been liquidated. Imagine just $100 million from one person. Fucking hell. Anyways, $345 million have been liquidated for the crypto market in the past 60 minutes. So you can see there's a lot of liquidation going across the board, and you can see now, speaking about Ethereum is showing some strength again with a bounce at 2400 turning point. The next level for us to watch is a break of the $28,000 resistance level for a run to 3000. Any break below the red line of the red box of around 2400, which we were expecting the structure to be bearish, and we should be moving further down. So all these levels we'll be watching on Ethereum and Bitcoin this weekend. We'll go back to the charts, we'll go back to the drawing board, and I would start to look at all my levels, look at what I made mistake, go into my journal, and just understand what happened. Because as traders, that's what we always do. Whenever we make mistakes, we have to go back to the drawing board to try to pick out what really led me on that path to take a wrong decision. And we'll live to fight another day. We'll come back stronger. We're able to maintain capital preservation, and that's the most thing. You learn from your lessons and you move on, and you use these lessons in your next trade, and you continue. There's no trader that has not suffered losses. We all suffer losses. Sometimes there will be red days. These are red days for us, but we have to just anticipate and prepare for the green days, so that we know how to manage our risk, and we know how to manage our wins also, because it's also important to manage your wins. Because even if you're winning and you're making money, sometimes it gets difficult, because I know a lot of traders personally, and they speak about concepts like this. So we just look at what is happening on the macro front, and we can see yesterday it was reported that Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell met with Trump in the White House, and Trump publicly stated that he told him to cut interest rates, and he's not doing a good job. So you can see Mr. Crypto is just tweeting about it, that now Powell seems to be backed in a corner, and rate cuts are inevitable, and they will be coming soon. Once that happens and the Fed starts cutting rates, all of crypto and all of risk assets will start to explode, and it will go parabolic. Of course, this would not happen tomorrow. It's not going to be happening next week. I don't think so. I think the next Fed meeting is even coming in sometime in June, sometime in the middle of June. So we still have about 2-3 weeks before the next Fed meeting. So we should be anticipating some pain ahead. Probably, if Ethereum does very well, we should be seeing probably an alt season, because once Ethereum does very well and is doing very well, that will bring in more liquidity on the Ethereum chain and all the altcoin markets, and we should see Bitcoin dominance fall. So that's what we'll be expecting, and probably an altcoin season will be imminent in the near term. But just looking at going back to Bitcoin, we can see we are just anticipating for that pullback, and if this higher low is not respected, we should be expecting a further pullback. Right now, the price is at 105,800 levels thereabout. So once we break this structure, we are going further down, and we seem to appear that we are breaking the structure, and we might be breaking the structure, and we'll be going further down. So this weekend we'll be looking at our trades, we'll be looking at further levels, and looking at how we would continue trading and how we would attack the market coming next week. Follow me on this journey from zero to Ferrari, and we will make you money. we'll make you melty, we'll spot positions together, and we'll take trades together. And even on the red days, we are here together. We are motivating ourselves, and we know, because we know that green days are ahead of us. See you tomorrow. Bye.